Hello, everybody. My name is Eza, and welcome to the first ever episode of the Yapper Yaps, where I read and react to Reddit stories. So, without further ado, let's just get into the first one. So, the first story is: Am I the a-hole for punishing my daughter for not coming to my wedding? I got married last weekend in my parents' house, which has been in the family for generations. For health reasons, only immediate family was there. My daughter, 16F, had been calling her new stepmom, 21F, names like homewrecker and prostitute, and I have been patient with her. She assumes I left her late mother because she had breast cancer. However, I did not leave her mother for having cancer. Nobody decides to have cancer. However, her late mother kept using her illness to devalue me and my sense of identity. She'd criticize the way I was taking care of her, and even stuff like my hygiene or the cologne I was wearing. She made me feel worthless, and I felt like she was projecting her own insecurities by saying the smell of my cologne was disgusting because she never made an effort to keep herself up. I think he meant to keep herself pretty, I guess. And despite the fact that I objectively found her disgusting sometimes. All right. I stuck by her until my self-esteem was destroyed. I would work hard closing deals all day and be acknowledged for my efforts at work. Yet I'd go home and she'd criticize and nag about every once. You mean every ounce? Yet I go home and she'd criticize and nag about every ounce of my being. I met her stepmom when I was in a dark place. She made me feel like I could be myself again. My wife made me feel unattractive and sexless, and with my new wife, I felt alive. Just the fact that she appreciated me and felt physical chemistry with me made me want to do anything for her, to want to provide for her. That's when I decided not to bullshit my wife anymore and file for divorce. Since then, my daughter's relatives from her mom's side had been poisoning her against me. Last weekend, when I and her stepmom went to the site of the wedding early, we expected to see her drive to the wedding later. But instead, she ended up going to stay with her aunt. Everybody asked where she was, and there was chaos from my side of the family locating her. As punishment, I took her car and allowance away and have taken her phone away until I feel that she can learn to be respectful towards someone I very much love, and that it will be impossible for her to do that if she keeps having to hear from her late mom's side of the family. My parents have called and said that I was being too harsh. However, even when things are tough, I feel I cannot let a child of mine believe they can do just whatever they want. Am I the a-hole? I definitely think he is definitely the a-hole. Okay, I'm assuming he has a 16-year-old daughter, right? He's probably in his like mid 40s, maybe late 30s. You are going for a woman half your age, especially when your wife has cancer. And you're telling me that, your wife is nagging at you and like making you feel like shit basically. And then you're just saying like, it made me feel sexless. It made me feel devalued. And I'm here like, bitch, she has cancer. Like, yeah, she's not gonna feel her best. Yeah, she's not gonna, dress up. First of all, you can't even write properly. And you're telling me that, oh, you found your wife disgusting, and just because she nags at you because of your cologne, you try having cancer. And then you leave her for a woman half your age. And literally, the new wife is 21. The daughter is 6. That's only a 5-year difference between them. You're telling me your daughter is going to be okay with that, and suddenly you're like, I can't let my daughter step on me. I gotta put boundaries. And I'm just here like, bitch. Definite a-hole for me. Definite. I feel like there's a lack of common sense lately on the internet. And I'm just like, this guy, he's not even using any type of sense that is in here. He's definitely using every sense that is available down south, if you know what I'm saying. So, a-hole. So, the next story is: Am I the a-hole for choosing my family over my daughter? I, 40 male, am married to my beautiful wife, 39 female, and have been for 20 years. We have 3 beautiful children, 19 male, 17 female, and 15 male, and are by all means very happy together. However, during a rough patch in our marriage, I had an affair with a coworker. She became pregnant and had a daughter, 10 female. I know this is wrong and I don't want judgment for it. It's in the past. I don't see my youngest daughter very often, about once every 6 months. Okay, sure. When I can get away for the day. The last time I saw her was last week. She asked me why I didn't see her more and if it was because I didn't love her. I told her that definitely wasn't true and that I love her very much. I have thoughts on that, but okay, continue. I just have to travel for work. I want to save her feelings. She told me that if I don't visit her at least once a month, then she never wants to see me ever again. I can't do that. I have a lot of weekend commitments with my other children. I want to maintain a relationship with my youngest daughter, but I can't see her that regularly. If push comes to shove, I'm going to choose my wife and my family. My daughter has her mother to depend on, so she'll be okay, even though it'll break my heart. Her mother hasn't told her about my family and doesn't want to. It's better if my daughter doesn't know. Would I be the a-hole if I choose my family over my illegitimate daughter? Edit. This hasn't been very helpful, particularly as many people have told me to unalive myself in direct messages. I know I've done the wrong thing by my children and my wife. I was wrong to treat my daughter as if she isn't family. Many people have said I should be honest, but if I do that, I will lose my marriage and I love my wife too much to hurt her more than I already have. I'm going to have to accept potentially losing my relationship with my daughter. Maybe things will be different when she's older and I can see her independently. But for now, I have to hope that she was just upset and did not mean it when she said she didn't want to see me anymore. I don't think the people on this board understand the consequences that the truth can have. For now, a lie is better. I mean, there's no contest for this, right? You would have to agree with me that this too, the father is the a-hole because you're telling me that you effed up, you had a rough patch in your marriage, and the first thing you do is instead of going for couples counseling, talk to your wife, make it work, the first thing you do is you cheat. That is the first thing you do when you have this rough patch with your wife, is you cheated. And then from the affair, you have an illegitimate child. And from this child, you can only see what is twice a year. This daughter is only asking for you to see her once a month. She's not asking for every day. She's not asking for once a week. She's not asking for every other week. She's asking once a month. That is it. This 10-year-old girl is far mature. She's just asking for once a month, and you can't even do that. You're just like, I can't do that. I can't let my wife know. Like, I'm gonna lose everything and everybody. And I'm like, yeah, you should have thought of that before you cheated, bro. Like, I, I don't know what to say to you. Like, he's coming onto Reddit and he's like saying, I need legitimate advice. Yeah, we can't give you legitimate advice because either way, you're gonna lose either one. Best case scenario, that is like the best case scenario, that you lose only either one, either the illegitimate daughter or your family. But most likely, you're gonna lose both because you're telling me that when she's older, you think that she wants to get to know you. She's 10. If you dump her for your main family, that kid will not want to see you ever because you have shown to her that you don't prioritize her. You don't love her enough to even give her once a month. So, what makes you think that it will show her that you love her when you can barely give that? Bro, get your head out of your ass. Like, the audacity of Mensam, it just pisses me off. Because, like, what? And this post is like 5 years ago, bro. 5 years ago. Okay, so let's see what the comments said. So one of the comments said is like, obviously everybody says he's the a-hole. So I like this one from Low Flying Satellites, who says, OP, you are the a-hole so hard. So hard. So to sum it up, you cheated on your wife, got a 20-year-old pregnant, don't pay child support, barely see your child, are lying to your wife about seeing your child, are lying to both sets of children about them having more siblings. Honest question, how long did you think you could keep this up with lying to your wife and your kids about the other kids? All their lives? Imagine the worst case scenario. Shouldn't they know for their own sakes so there's no risk of relationships or something between them in the future? Exactly. Exactly. I feel like people who cheat and have illegitimate children, they don't think of this. They don't think of like, what if by karma or circumstance that those two children get together and now we have incest on our hands? These cheaters, I tell you, they don't think. They don't think. I'm getting riled up. I'm like sweating. I'm like sweating because I'm just getting pissed off. Okay, third story for this video. So, am I the a-hole for telling another mom that I felt sorry for her daughter? My 43 female, son 14 male, is in the same class as this girl. Let's call her Maya. I've known Maya since they were little, and she's always been one of those really high-achieving kids. Her mom is a professor in electrical engineering and very focused on academics. Is that correct? I suddenly don't know how to speak. Academics, right? Maya has been doing extra activities since she was a kid, coding, math competitions, spelling bees, all of it. She's clearly smart, no doubt, but lately I've just started feeling a little sad for her. I've noticed she also loves dressing up, makeup, all the girly stuff. She's always so put together, and I can tell that she enjoys those things too. But she never really seems to hang out with the other girls as much. She's always busy or preparing for something academic. It reminded me of when I was her age and how important it was to just have that carefree time with friends. I couldn't help but feel like maybe she's missing out on that experience. After a school event, I was chatting with her mom and I made the mistake of saying something like, I've always admired how driven Maya is. But I sometimes, I've always admired how driven Maya is. But I sometimes feel bad for her. I just hope she gets to enjoy being a 14-year-old girl too. Her mom got really cold and basically accused me of being jealous. She said something like, Is this because Maya did better than your son in the math competition? I was honestly shocked. I told her that now I told her that's not what this is all about. I haven't been keeping track of who wins what. As far as I know, they're both the top two in their class, and I'm really proud of my son. I explained that my son got into coding and math because he genuinely loves it. He's the one who started exploring that stuff on his own. With Maya, it just seems like a lot of pressure from her mom's side. And to be honest, I even said that obviously, when it comes to math, Maya has a big advantage. Her mom is literally a professor in that field. I'm not. I'm not some rich academic who can tutor my kid at that level. I'm just doing my best to support my son however I can. Some of the STEM stuff also have a big push to try to get more girls, and I feel like they might use her for marketing and give her first prize since it is good marketing for that, like hackathons and robotic competitions. She cut me off and said Maya loves everything she's doing and doesn't need anyone to feel sorry for her. I tried to clarify that I didn't mean to insult either of them, but I could tell that she was already completely shut down. Now I'm wondering if I crossed a line. I didn't mean to question her parenting or Maya's interest. I just felt like maybe no one was thinking about how much pressure she might be under. Am I the a-hole? Most definitely. Most definitely you are the a-hole. That poor girl is not your daughter. You are, again, this is all projection. You are projecting on this mother, on this daughter. Like you yourself said, I'm not a rich engineer. Is that what she said? Wait. Okay. I'm not some rich academic who can tutor my kid at that level. You are projecting. Okay. Like, what makes you think you can judge Maya and her mom, like saying that she doesn't like all these STEM stuff? And now you're telling me, like, from your story, you're saying that, all these STEM competitions, they want good marketing. So that's why they're pushing Maya to win number one. This is the same rhetoric of when women in the workforce, like when people say that they sleep their way to get to the top. This is the same rhetoric, except it's still in high school, or I guess middle school at this point. That's disgusting. Like Maya can like both things. Maya can like STEM and girly stuff. And yeah, if she doesn't have time to do, hang out with girls, then that's her prerogative. That's it for this video. I hope you like it. If you want more stories from me and more like Reddit stories, like and subscribe for more. And that's it. See you in the next video.